Alright, so my Grizzly 400 is finally here. This is what you need if you want to build a cold plunge, and after doing extensive research I came to the conclusion that this would be the most cost-effective one out there, mainly because it's gonna keep your cold plunge cold for about 10 days, so you don't have to constantly run your chiller, and you're gonna save a lot of energy. It does require an upfront investment of it's costing me like $1,100, and it did take about 2 months for it to arrive, but if you're gonna use it on a daily basis, it's really effective. And then we have our submersible water pump. We need some tubes. This is the 1.4 horsepower of Active Aqua. The submersible pump is also from Active Aqua. And this one, this is a, what was it called? Forgot. This is our filter. So besides putting chlorine into the cold plunge in the water, this is also gonna filter your water. You want to make sure that your water is as clean as possible, so that way you don't have to constantly change water, because that's also a pain in the ass. My whole philosophy is essentially being as effective and efficient as possible. That way, after I make this happen, I don't have to constantly maintain it. All right, now the plan is to make 2 holes in here. The bottom hole is going to be the pump hole, which water is going to pump through the chiller, and the top hole, the chiller is going to push the water back into the cold plunge, making it ice cold. That's the goal. Okay, so what I'm doing is from top 21 inches down to the bottom, I'm gonna make my first hole, and about 6 inches above I'm gonna make my second hole right in the middle. And the reason why I say from the top, because your cooler does have like the inside is higher from the ground for isolation purposes, so you want to measure from the top to bottom and then measure this side and then make your holes. That way accidentally you don't kind of go too far down, so you don't damage this. Now what you're gonna do is just make a little hole here, go all the way through with just a regular mat, and then you're gonna change it to the saw mat to drill in your hole. I'm gonna show you that. Alright, so made 2 holes here, kind of shitty quality. Made 2 holes here. You want to make sure first you drill it, and then you need this. You can buy it from Amazon or Home Depot, and it needs to be the 1.58 inch. I'm also going to show you, once we make our hole, this is what's gonna go through it the other way, and our water is gonna flow through this. And I also have, most people just buy like how they make it. You can't really turn it on and off if you ever wanted to disconnect it, but I decided to get one of these. That way whenever I want to move this, I can kind of just connect it and disconnect it and do my thing. All right, so first thing first, you don't, when you're using this guy, you don't want to go all the way. You're gonna go like half and then go to the other side. Now, little trick, you're not gonna put it on front, you're gonna put it on back. See that? So you're essentially gonna get a nice circle going before you start. See that? You're gonna make a nice circle, because this might essentially kick you off and you don't want to damage the remaining parts of your cooler. And then you're just gonna put it on forward and do the rest. Remember, half and half. Half this way, half from inside, half from outside. Also, what I like to do is wrap my, well, this, don't know what it's called, but I will leave the description at the end of the video. You know these Teflons, I guess? I want to wrap them to make it leak proof, especially this end part. So you're gonna put this through the hole, nice, and then this end you're just gonna tighten it up, and you're gonna be good to go. I need both my hands for this, so see you later, alligator. Also, you want to make sure each and every part you put Teflon on. That way, you already assembled this. That way, you know, kind of make it waterproof, so you don't have to deal with any water leaks and so on and so forth. Yeah, this top part, I inserted this wrong, and apparently how they made it is like if you insert it wrong, it kind of locks. So now I'm stuck on this. I have to figure out a way to take this off, but it's really hard. My hands are literally bruised. I try to use tools, but it's missing one, so figure a way out and let you guys know. This one, just put it in, then the hose goes over here. I'll show you how to do that as well. So essentially this is how it should look like. You also need these guys. What the fuck happened to my hand? You also need these guys to kind of tighten it up. So what you do is essentially put one there, one over here, and then you connect these. Man, this hose is actually quite persistent. It's kind of hard to adjust it. This goes in here, and you want to tighten it. Okay, this is how it should look like, and you want to tighten these up. That way you don't have any water leak, and you have a nice steady water flow. It's like I've done it all the way over here. So the pump is going to pump water into this. It's going to go into the filter, and then from the filter is going to go to the chiller. From the chiller back into the cold plunge. That way you always have clean water. Although the only mistake I've made is buy a submersible pump, which means now I have to connect this to the bottom one. Unfortunately, sometimes dirty water is going to go into it, although they do have a filter. But you can also buy just a regular pump and essentially connect this to this and then to the pump. That way also always clean water goes into the pump, or just put the pump over here, go into this and go into the chiller. Make sure that you only have clean water going to the chiller. That way your chiller lasts longer. All right, this is how it should look like. The final step. Now I'm just gonna fill out some water, check for leaks, and if everything is good, I'm just gonna start up the pump and chiller and see how it goes. Keep you guys updated. Okay, and this is our test drive. Look at that, beautiful. And no leaks, which is awesome. Now we're gonna set the temperature nice and low, which I don't know how to do that. Just gonna figure it out. Okay, so I do wanna update you guys on something that I did do a mistake on. So you see how water comes from over here, goes into the filtration, and then it goes into the 110 horsepower chiller and back into the plunge. Now I did get a submersible pump, and the mistake that I made is with submersible pumps, it's in the water, so every time I have to kind of, I either have to make a hole here to get this out. That way I don't mess up the isolation. But every time I want to use it, I kind of have to leave the door open. So it would be a better idea to get an outside pump. That way you can just have the door closed and your pump can work and it can cool down your water. Water is going to stay cleaner. Insects aren't going to go in. So I'll leave you a link for the outdoors pump. You're just gonna get a tube, put the tube to the pump, and then from the pump to the filter. Or you can put the filter and put the tube right over here so your water gets filtered as it gets sucked in, so also your pump gets cleaner water essentially.